Hey guys. Okay, so I'm just going to touch a little bit more specifically on public health nursing and what that entails, especially since you guys are going to be talking about what clinical sites you're looking at. So, all right, we talked about public health. Public health nurses focus a lot on assessment and future assessment for risk, and then also assessment on kind of what to do next. We talked a little bit about primary and tertiary prevention. And then public health nurses also work with policy development and then, of course, assurance. Policy development is really important to understand because it's not just, okay, I'm going to help write my congressman about better school health, programs in my school district, or or writing like a procedure for something. Policy development also you're going into it in terms from a research aspect. You're going to be improving. Maybe an example would be mother-baby care after birth. So let's think about this. When I had my children, um, let's see, when I was in California, nobody came to see me after, but they called me. And of course, you follow up with your pediatrician for your baby to get weighed and all that stuff. And then, of course, they ask you questions about breastfeeding and how that's working. And if you have any concerns, they refer you on. In Cincinnati, the mother baby care is a little more comprehensive, especially if you're at high risk. So when I had my daughter, someone called me, asked if they could send someone out. I said, sure. They weighed baby, asked me a few questions, and they left. Now, where I work, public health. First of all, so for some of you, you might be like, okay, well, of course, it's straightforward. Like, people will bring their baby to the pediatrician 3 days after they're born. Well, a lot of people don't. They legitimately miss that stuff. People forget, like, oh, baby's not crying. They don't need to eat. Maybe they don't understand that your baby doesn't have as much appetite as other babies do, so that they have to be woken up to eat. The other big part is, we have that whole thing with SIDS and back is best and sleeping and safe sleeping is important. Well, since they started that campaign, SIDS has gone down by 60%, and that was a public health campaign. And with writing of that policy development, maybe, for example, okay, Cincinnati Health Department, let's get funding to have home health nurses go out and take care of these moms after they gave birth. In order to justify that funding, you had to show research. You had to do quality improvement projects. And in order to justify quality improvement project and to pilot some improvement, you would have to also show research in that. So that is kind of where the policy development comes in. And then when they talk about assessment, able to assess for risk. So if you're someone who's fairly educated, it seems very engaged and involved in their healthcare and their child's healthcare, then maybe you don't need, they're not going to need as frequent visits from a nurse coming to their house. But if you have a young mom who doesn't know what they're doing, they were clearly nervous, they don't seem engaged with baby, you're going to see them more often. Or a mom with diabetes. I have a great example. I have a woman, she has 8 kids, and she is with the refugee program, and she just needs help because she was diabetic while she was pregnant, and she's still very, very sick. And so I send home health out there to see her and to call me every day, even on the weekend. I mean, you obviously don't have to go that far, but I do it just because I, really want to take care of this lady, and keep me apprised on how the postpartum part is going, but also her health. Because all these interventions that we're doing, you might think, oh, this is quite costly. It's still nothing compared to if we waited for tertiary sequelae. Okay. So we had talked about the levels of healthcare pyramid. Um, and um, I want to show you that again. So I will when I have to like change the way the camera works on this, and I can only like pick the camera once. So, um, um, yeah. So when I was talking about tertiary, I'm sorry, primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention. We're going to get into that really quick.